Hello there, and welcome to episode 11 of the Xenomorphic Possibilities podcast. This episode is going to go into a very fun discussion, I think, with myself on the DNA of Prometheus and where it's drawn its influence I've seen so far from the first 4 Alien films. So, as I've watched Prometheus over and over and over, I've seen tons of influences from all 4 Alien films. And today I'm going to discuss what I can remember from that so far with just the notes I've taken, things like that. So first off, all 4 of those films had the same producers. David, at least the 2 of the core ones, David Giler and Walter Hill. They were kind of the original creators of Alien. And I was so happy to see their names on Prometheus as a producer. So the original 2 guys, back from 1978, David Giler and Walter Hill, are involved in Prometheus, and that's cool. Xenomorph and Geiger's influence is obviously a part of this film in a big way. Also, out of all 4 films, the android David mirrored many of those androids in the first 3 films especially. The white blood, the demeanor was similar, but David just overall, he encapsulated kind of all of the androids found in the first 4 films in an interesting way. So now let's get into the individual films and how that DNA makes its way into this film. So first off, the music in Alien was kind of similar in Prometheus. We had some classical music playing as we had classical music in Alien. We had music in the Wayland intro scene. In that music, the theme in that was actually taken from the first Alien film. So that's some DNA there. The look and feel, obviously, with Ridley Scott directing was very much on par. That spacecraft was taken from Alien. Obviously, the space jockey character, obviously from Alien. Now, some of the cooler ones here, Vickers not letting the contaminant, the sick guy on board, Elizabeth Shaw's boyfriend on board, was very much a callback to Alien, where Ripley did not want the contaminant on board. She said no, and the android let him in. And that was a mistake, obviously, which killed the whole crew. So that scene where Vickers doesn't let the contaminant on board is a callback to Alien in a big way, and she ended up killing him. And that was, I think, perhaps the right call there. And that is something that, following the Alien, very much the different reaction there, where Ripley didn't want him on board, and as a result, it didn't matter because the android let him on. So the other big scene I saw was kind of the chest burster scene of Prometheus. And that I would call the C-section scene, where she, Elizabeth Shaw, performs C-section on herself using a machine. And that scene was so tense and reminded me in such a way that of the chest burster scene where something's about to happen and it's tense throughout. You see the thing moving in his chest. You see that, and you see a similar thing in this scene, the C-section scene. So that scene is very much a callback to the Alien in that same kind of intensity. So there's a lot of aspects in Alien that made their way into Prometheus. Moving on is Aliens, the second Alien film, and the first thing that really caught my eye was the briefing scene. The briefing scene where they explain why they're there and all that kind of stuff. Very much like the briefing scene in Aliens. They're all sitting in a similar kind of room. They're all kind of not sure what's going on because they just got hired. It's the same thing. They didn't know what to expect. They all got hired. They just slept for a couple of years, and they woke up, and that's when the briefing starts. Same thing here, and they had in the Aliens, they had Ripley come up and share a little bit about what she knew, and the same thing here. The scientists come up and they almost kind of mocked her in a less severe way, but it was a very similar tone there. The briefing scene as in Aliens. Also, as in Aliens, it seemed like it was a lot of mercenaries. It was people that were hired on to go out after this thing versus some of the other ways this could have been done. Very much in tune with Aliens. Also, terraforming, a big thing here. Building better worlds. I saw the logo on someone's shirt that said "Building Better Worlds," a little Earth thing, and that was very much from the Aliens. Was the first one, and finally the transport vehicles. Yeah, those were very much inspired, I think, by the Aliens vehicles, and a lot of influence here. Now, moving on is Alien 3. Now, the big thing I saw, similar to Alien 3, was this one freak-out scene when they found the gigantic dead body. So this guy goes and basically, he's a geologist. I'm not in the gigantic dead body arena. And that the sound of his scream and that tone was very much like that of Alien 3 in one of those intense scenes where they didn't want to go out and kill the alien. They wanted to stay behind. It's not their job to do this. Same thing with this guy. He is a geologist. He is not in this gigantic dead body arena. That's a very much a callback to Alien 3 in the tone there. Also, the religious influence in Alien 3 very much is present in Prometheus in a much bigger way, actually. And the music, kind of similar, is big and grand in Alien 3 in many moments. And the music really was unique in Prometheus, but of all the movies, Alien 3 would have the biggest influence there. Now, moving on is Alien Resurrection, of course. And this one had tons of, at least two big influences I saw in Prometheus. So first one, if you look on the top of the docking structure, the little ball with the ring around it, you see this huge head on top of the structure. And I have no idea what that head's there for. I have no idea why the head is there, but that head is the head of the mutant alien in Alien Resurrection. The alien that was very much human DNA and xenomorph DNA in one. That's the head of the alien that birthed through a mammal-like birth in Alien Resurrection. The really crazy mutant alien. That head is in Prometheus. I don't know why, but you see in Prometheus, they had facehuggers. They had all these different aspects of the 4 films in this one film. They already knew about the mutant alien in some capacity. I'm not sure how they knew about this or if they created one already. And that calls back me to the Bible and with things of saying there's nothing new under the sun. And that is that's one message you get from this film, that there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new that you can create. It's already been done. The things in Alien Resurrection done 4,000, I forget how many years later from this film, were already accomplished back then. So nothing new under the sun. It is showcased in this film, which does call to faith quite a bit. So nothing new is in this movie, basically, or in the future movies that we will see. The other big thing was the weird curiosity of the two characters that, I forget their names, the two characters that were stuck in the building, stuck outside in the structure. They had this weird curiosity of these worms that got mutated, and they had this loving curiosity, like they were, hey baby, this was a weird, like, that tone, that demeanor, that scene was a scene that could have been taken out of Alien Resurrection. It was that same tone in Alien Resurrection and that same DNA of Alien Resurrection. The tone of that scene is the tone that was in Prometheus. That worm scene where they ended up getting killed, both of them pretty much, that was straight out of Alien Resurrection. So, and then the final one with Earth being a destination and having to stop that ship from going to Earth, that's another thing from Alien Resurrection. Not as much of a DNA thing, just rather a thing. But so much influence from these 4 films, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection, made it in Prometheus. It is a film, Prometheus, a film birthed out of all 4 of these films. The DNA of all 4 films goes into this one in a big way, and it's a fun ride that I've taken multiple times watching this movie, and those are the aspects I've noticed so far in watching this movie so many times. So I'm sure I'll probably be doing a part 2 of the DNA of the Alien movies in Prometheus, but I think it's a good start, and let me know in the comments if you have noticed other DNA aspects of Prometheus from the 4 films. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TCHATEN. for more videos like this and just random other tech videos. So thanks for watching. I will talk to everyone again real soon. Aloha.